Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you guys for tuning in today, man. Today, we're going to be checking out Kenny Rodgers, the Gambler. Yep, the Gambler, all right? So we're going to see what this was all about. Thank you guys so much. We've checked out some Kenny Rodgers on the channel before, but it was with his band. Like I can't remember their name. I want to say like the First Dimension or something like that. That doesn't sound right, and I'm getting confused because I've reacted to the Fifth Dimension group. So yeah, but Kenny Rodgers, early on, he had a different group, and we've checked out about 2 of their songs, which were really cool. I loved both of those songs that we checked out from them. But today we're gonna be checking out Kenny Rodgers later in his career with a song called The Gambler. So if there's going to be more from Kenny Rodgers that you guys want me to check out, let me know. But for now, let's go ahead and dive into this one and see what we're getting. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the description, and let's go ahead and play this one out and see what's up. Here we are. Music video as well. I didn't know that. Okay.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice."
Hey.
So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done."
That's the life advice right there, huh? This is interesting.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he'd finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep.
Hey.
You got to know when to hold 'em,
That's a good writing.
know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold 'em, when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
I was hoping to see him take the shot. Hey, take the shot. All right, so that's what we got with The Gambler, okay? So it's not a necessarily song about gambling. Like, I thought, The Gambler, we were gonna, and then the way he entered the song, I thought they were gonna play a game of cards or something like that, or he was gonna gamble his life away, kind of like what's that one song, where they play the fiddle, Devil Went Down to Georgia. I thought it was gonna be something like that, but no, this is literally advice from a gambler using the expressions of gambling to give a life lesson about the way that you should handle business, the way you should handle situations. So it's a metaphor of gambling for life. And I thought that was really clean and cool. For the last swallow of his whiskey, for a bum of a smoke, he gave him some advice saying, "Son, this is what I've learned through my travels." And he said, this is where I thought it was so masterful. He picked up an ace, right? He got an ace from this guy, an ace of information. The best information you can get is the way that he took that, all right? So it's literally about you got to know when it's worth fighting for. You got to know when that fight's over for you, and you got to walk away. And don't ever count your blessings in front of people, right? Don't sit there and brag. Don't sit there and say, this is what I've got. There'll be time for reflecting on that when you're gone out of sight, all right? So be humble. Be humble about your winnings. Be humble about where you've gained good things in life. And honestly, man, this song is amazing. This song is amazing. I guess I'll tell you guys. You guys are kind of like close friends. Some of you, for me, the camera, right? The camera. I've been with the camera for a long time, but really, I'm speaking to a lot of you guys. But really, that's how life is, right? I mean, if you find yourself getting small wins, which fortunately I have found some here and there, I just don't have people I can talk to about it. And it doesn't come off good to share small wins with people. Sometimes that's just the way it is. That's the way life is. It's hard to share wins without it seeming like bragging. So a lot of times you keep it to yourself and you don't share. But this song's a good information. This song is a good little bit of story. I love this one right here. So Kenny Rodgers, man, I'm very interested in hearing more now because this was a very wise song. I'm curious to see if he wrote it or what happened with that. So let's go ahead and jump into the wiki on this one. But I definitely dug it, man. I dug it. All right, so you got the Gambler right here. Kenny Rodgers, released in 1978 on country. The songwriter is Don Schultz. I don't believe we've heard of Mr. Don Schultz before. He's an American songwriter who has written more than 20 #1 hits on the country music charts. He is best known for the song The Gambler and as the co-writer of Forever and Ever Amen and When You Say Nothing at All. All right, so inspiration in an early version. Schultz wrote the song in 1976 when he was 23 years old. On the American Top 40 radio program on February 1979, Casey Kasem reported that Schultz said of the Gamblers, "Something more than me wrote that song. I'm convinced of that. I really had no idea where the song was coming from. There was something going through my head, which was my father. It was just a song, and it somehow filtered through me. 6 weeks later, I received the final verse. Months later, it came to me that it was inspired and possibly a gift from my father." Schultz's father had died in 1976. That's awesome. That's an awesome little bit of story right there. Schultz shopped the song around Nashville for 2 years before Bobby Bear recorded it on his album Bear at the urging of Shel Silverstein. Bear's version did not catch on and was never released as a single, so Schultz recorded it himself, but that version failed to chart higher than number 65. Other musicians took notice and recorded the song in 1978, including Johnny Cash. Wow, Johnny Cash has a version who put it on his album Gone Girl. All right, so the lyrics describe the song's narrator meeting a gambler one summer evening while riding aimlessly on a train. The gambler can tell from the looks on the narrator's face that he is in poor circumstances and offers him advice in exchange for a drink of his whiskey. After the narrator obliges with the whiskey as well as a cigarette, the gambler describes his outlook on life using poker metaphors. The gambler states that every situation can be played for better or worse. The trick is to recognize when it's worth keeping, choosing one's battles, and not dwell on losses. Man, that's good advice, man. After he finishes talking, the gambler crushes the cigarette out, falls asleep, and passes away in the night, leaving the narrator pondering his wisdom alone while he passed away that night. Wow. All right. So thank you for this one, man. It's a great, great song to take a listen to today. I appreciate that so much. I hope you are doing great out there. Let me know if there's more from Kenny that you want me to check out, more country to check out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.